As we're coming to the stretch run, 90-some-odd days left, is the big money that a lot of people say it takes to win. Now, look at this right here. This is the television ad spending. Hillary, $52 million. Donald Trump at 0. Julie, you know, Donald Trump, he talks to the press a lot. He's got a lot of free press in the primaries. Obviously, I think it helped him. Now it doesn't necessarily help him as much, particularly with the mainstream media, who always, I think they're always trying to set him up. And you know, they throw the bait out there for him. But does he have to start spending money soon? Well,
first of all, if they throw it out, he certainly takes it. He doesn't know how to not take the bait, and that's the problem for him. But yeah, he does have to start spending. Here's the problem, and I know this from doing campaigns for 20 years. Now is the time. You cannot wait until after Labor Day. People's impressions of both these candidates are starting to be baked in. They pretty much, are baked in already. She has been up on TV relentlessly in battleground states, spending money on field staff, spending money on modeling, which the Trump campaign says they're not doing, which is complete malpractice, by the way, if you're a campaign operative. The fact that they are not spending money, if they have it, they should spend it. If they don't have it, they should raise it. But whatever they do, they need to start doing it now, because these leads that she's building are about to be baked in. This happens in late August.
Yeah.
By September, it's going to be too late.
Ron, I don't know if it's hubris or not, but I've been reading where Hillary's actually pulled back in certain places because she feels so comfortable, whether it's in Pennsylvania or Colorado. Donald Trump raised $80 million in last month. How do you think he's going to deploy it? Do you agree that television is the place to go, or is there some new model that's going to work better this time?
Well, I think he does need to do some television. Clearly what he's doing now isn't working. I think Julie's right. Here's the thing. He thinks that because he won the primary using free media, he can do that in the general. The problem is the media was rooting for him in the primary. They're rooting against him in the general. And we've seen that all of his major gaffes have come from media interviews. And, you know, so he needs to change up what he's doing. He needs to do more. I mean, listen, the best week of polling he had is when he didn't speak hardly at all except for one speech, and that was the week of the convention, okay? So if he follows that model, he can win, but that's what it comes down to. He does need to start spending. Listen, I live in Virginia. I've been getting hit with anti-Trump ad after anti-Trump ad. Let me tell you, they're effective. They talk about being made in China. They have his clothes up there. They have interviews up there. It looks ugly. He needs to compete there. He's doing great on social media. He's doing great with some free media, but he has to expand it. He can't just rely on the 40% of the Republican electorate that voted him in. He now has to expand it. He can't just talk about how he won the primary. You know, he has to do more.
And Gina, speaking of that, you know, in this Bloomberg poll this morning, I go through them for certain things that stand out. One was a far lesser degree of people being impressed with Donald Trump's business expertise. And I think that goes back to Ron's point. He's being hit over and over and over and over. When does he go on the offensive?
I think that I hope that it's time. But this is the one thing that I also think about Donald Trump, is that he just got done beating 16 people out of this race. If there are two things that Donald Trump knows regarding his business acumen, one is marketing and the other is timing. And I would say that he definitely has a plan. And I think as it unfolds, you know, his goal has to be to peak on Election Day, not to peak right now. I think as he continues to tear away at Hillary's almost daily scandals at this point, the American people are going to start to catch on. We'll watch and see.
Gina, you know, Donald Trump agreed to those three debates, with the stipulation that the moderators have to be fair. So we'll see if the media can get 3 fair moderators. What do you make of that? Because just a couple of weeks ago you said, no way, it's unfair, it's part of the rigged system.
You're asking,
well, you can't blame him, especially coming in as an outsider. I don't think you can blame Donald Trump for knowing that not only the establishment political group is after him, but the establishment media is also after him as well. They've enjoyed their access to the big story and to the establishment politicians. And so Donald Trump knows he's the outsider. He knows he's coming in as the underdog. He knows he's going to have to emerge as at least on fair ground, right, Charles? And so I think it's fair of him to put some limitations on that. And I also am impressed, as a member of the GOP who's always been frustrated with how the GOP never seems to defend themselves in the face of a hostile media, that he's actually standing up and saying, hey, I would like it to be fair. I don't think that's a ridiculous,
you know, that no matter what,
request.
That will be one of the legacies of Donald Trump. And before we go, Julie, I think when you said uneducated white men, you just mean white folks who don't have a college degree.
Well,
Can't be two different things.
Lesser
I know a lot of
educated.
smart people without college degrees.
I agree with you. That's not what I meant. I meant lesser educated. Correct.
Let's leave it there. Thank you all.
Thanks.
Very great conversation.